as the times change, things get left in the past. And a lot of people have been discussing it because I know y'all have seen that we aren't going to get physical games anymore on PlayStation. So when the PS6 comes out, I'm assuming, or just either way by the time of January 2028, whatever WWE game there is, it won't have a physical release. And you gotta say that's kind of crazy. And I know I personally, I haven't picked up a physical version of a WWE 2K game since 19, and that's just more so for me so I can do early access gameplay. But I still think it's kind of sad that the option is just no longer going to be there. Either way, man, let's just go ahead and get into this WWE 2K news, because 2K released patch 1.13 for WWE 2K26 earlier this week, and with it, they've confirmed a few rumors that have been circulating recently about Season 4, and in the patch notes, they've also announced that patch 1.14 is going to arrive later this month. I'm just going to be honest, I'm assuming Season 4 comes out July 22nd, so I'm going to assume the patch will be July 22nd. But with that, it's going to address a lot more things that patch 1.13 didn't address. But before we discuss the other confirmations, just new additions on the way, I think it's important to at least acknowledge what patch 1.13, what it did actually fix. And so just like always, timestamps will be in the description below. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. The only general gameplay adjustments and improvements that they made were, you pretty much know the joke, the running gag by now, stability and performance. Wow. Then of course, you know, we gotta touch the live service slot, because they added new items and bundles to the shops within the island. And then the creation suite also featured an update. Then of course, they addressed reported concerns of interest motions not being saved whenever you were close to title. And then the universe mode, specifically with promos, we did receive some minor fixes for this. The first thing they did was they addressed reported concerns of casual promo attire not being used when a casual promo action won a contested action sequence. They also fixed an issue with not being able to use non-default attires for non-casual promo actions. And then the last adjustment in patch 1.13 was stability adjustments for cutscenes. But now that that's finally over with, we can talk about the fun stuff. So in my last video, I talked about the rumors of Batista 05, and in my opinion, why 2K27 should be dedicated to the Ruthless Aggression era, which, by the way, link will be in the description below in case you haven't seen it yet. But I have some good news and I have some bad news. As a matter of fact, to quote Wade Barrett, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. That was probably a terrible attempt at a British accent, but it's confirmed that we will be getting a retro Batista Persona card in 2K26. However, it is not Batista 05, and no, it's not Batista 2019, Batista 2014, Batista 2010, or even 07 Batista. The Persona will specifically be for Batista 02. It's also unknown if he's going to be in the Season 4 ringside pass or unlockable via my faction. Some people are saying that he's tied to my faction, but at the current moment in time, it's not 100% known. I know a lot of people are going to be upset about it, understandably so, because a lot of people did want 05 Batista. You can honestly argue, man, he might really be the most heavily requested Persona in recent memory. Honestly, I think he might even be the most demanded character I've seen all year long. And so another incoming Persona people are talking about, like I just said, is Walter. If you somehow don't know who that is, it's just basically Gunther. It was his original name before they changed it, before Vince McMahon left the company. I think he even was known as Walter when 2K22 came out. I mean, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, again, I'm certain that he didn't become Gunther, or that his first appearance as Gunther wasn't until 2K23. But either way, his Persona card is coming. Some people have managed to look at the early model, and they're just pretty much upset because it's literally his Gunther model. When he was known as Walter, he was a big guy. But I can confirm that this is just a placeholder, because Cornell came out yesterday and he confirmed that the Walter model is not even finished. So the one that we're looking at right now, I'm assuming how it's working is, since, you know, they're the same person, personas are just kind of tied to their regular form, I suppose. With him, since it's going to be a different model, I guess they're just using that name, or excuse me, using his placeholder, his model as a placeholder, because he's going to have, like, you know, the same moveset, most likely the same attributes, the same tendencies, etc., etc. But like Cornell said, this isn't a look at the finished product. So maybe we're going to see him sometime season 4. Maybe it's going to be some sort of a live event. I doubt he's going to be in the ringside pass, but who knows. And then while we're still on the topic of confirmations, Cornell has shut the lid on other rumors and potential fake news. Interesting. So there's a tweet going around about incoming personas to my faction. Now somebody did retweet it to Cornell, and this person specifically called it fake. Now what's interesting is that Cornell didn't deny whether it's fake or not, but he did basically say, just be patient and wait for stuff to be announced. But on the other hand, we do have confirmations of more personas coming to 2K26. Shout out to the SmackDown Hotel for compiling this entire list. If you take a look at this entire list, a decent chunk of it is just nothing but, say it with me, recycled content, but we're just going to still go over it. We're going to have Charlotte Flair 2017, an elite version of John Cena, and an elite version of Trish Stratus. Now, we know the elite John Cena. This is nothing new, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that elite Trish Stratus, I don't think we've seen this version of her before. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. We're going to get Io Shirai, which if you somehow don't know, just like with Gunther/Walter, this was Io's original name before she changed it. Then, of course, we're going to get Jey Uso 2017, Jimmy Uso 2017. And again, dude, I'm pretty sure these guys were unlockable in, what was it, the showcase mode for about the Anawahi family last year? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? We're going to see a return of Lily, which if you don't remember, it was Alexa Bliss's doll. I don't remember which game that she appeared in, but she was just basically a big ass doll you could play as in my faction. Then we're going to get, I'm just going to go ahead and say 2017 Miz, because we're going to get the A-list version of the Miz. Naomi 20 is making a return. We're going to get another return in R-Truth Judgment Day. Bro, this is just basically nothing but 2K25 recycled content. Stuff that you unlocked either in last year's showcase or in My Rise is now going to be behind a paywall in my faction. I mean, let's just be for real. And then, of course, last but not least, the new retro Trish Stratus, not Trish Stratus 03, which we already have, but Trish Stratus 2000. And speaking of Trish Stratus, we have an official date for her new persona, because yesterday she put out a tweet building up hype for the new persona, and along with it, she gave us the date of July 17th, which is 5 days before Season 4 is set to release. And then in reference to Season 4, we've also got more information on the renders and the models for the DLC. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Shout out to Joe Mashups for the information and the first look glimpses. But we've got a glimpse of the retro Jeff Hardy and Lita renders. Now, at this moment in time, unfortunately, we don't know what Matt's retro render would look like. We can just assume and make guesses. But lucky enough for us, we do have both his and Jeff's modern renders, because some people were speculating that maybe there wasn't going to be a modern version of Matt for some reason. Well, we can go ahead and put that to rest. But what's even better, we actually even have a glimpse of Jeff's modern model. Now, it's kind of controversial online at the moment. A lot of people either love it or they just outright hate it. I mean, I don't really have any issues with it. Then Joe has also given us the information that Jeff will have both face paint and a non-face paint attire. Now, I'm going to say this is a huge win, because if you remember, his last entry, which was 2K22, he only had a model with face paint in that game. So this is a huge win for fans of him with the paint and without it. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think in 2K20 he might have had no face paint. I don't think he had face paint in 20. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. And then finally, we also have a look at the renders for Lady Shanni and Jelly Roll. And I gotta say, no offense if you're a Jelly Roll fan, but I just don't really see the purpose of putting him in the game. I don't really think he was worth taking up a character slot. Did I say spot? I tried to confirm. What the hell am I saying? I tried to combine spot and slot, and I said splot. What? I just don't really see the point of adding Jelly Roll into the game. And I know, yes, we've had like MGK, Post Malone, but in those aspects, I think it kind of made sense, because those guys did the soundtrack for those games. We had Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, he can actually wrestle. He's actually put on decent matches, so I can kind of understand it. But with Jelly Roll, it's just like, I feel like, man, this spot could have went to somebody like Kendall Gray. It could have went to Dark State, or at least one member in the group. We could have had, I don't know, Kaylee Armstrong. It's just so many different people that I feel you could have used this spot for. I don't know, like, am I crazy for saying that? And something else that I do want to add before I wrap this video up. Shout out to Kill Die Wolf. I saw this earlier this morning when I was getting ready to record. But in patch 1.13, they have added the Disturbed and the Alliance version of Stone Cold's theme song. And if you look at the list, it says Stone Cold 2000. I don't think you can see it in the screenshot that I posted, but in the screenshot that in the screenshot he took, you see it says Stone Cold 2000. So that does make me wonder, in season 4, will we get a Stone Cold 2000 persona? And I'm curious though, will he be in the ringside pass? Because like I said in my previous video, it really does seem as if, I don't know, man, they're just really hinting at maybe we're gonna see an early 2000s WWE 2K entry. I don't know. I'm really curious, man. I don't know if I got a 10 for a hat on right now or what, but I'm thinking that they are really implying something. Maybe I'm overlooking, maybe I'm just reaching, but either way, man, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think about Batista 02? What do you think about the Trish Stratus date? Most importantly, what do you think about this season 4 DLC? And I'm also curious though, man, what do y'all think about PlayStation just killing physical games? I mean, what do you think about that? If this your first time stopping by the channel, go ahead and get that leg ready. I want you to go ahead and stretch it, and I want you to tune up the band, get a little bit of that do 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 do, because I want you to hit that like button with the meanest. I'm talking about the absolute meanest, hardest, sweet chin music, super kick, whatever you want to call it, and I want you to super kick the hell out of that like button, and then we're not done. We ain't done yet. I want you to pick up that subscribe button. I want you to run off the ropes. I want you to start barking like a dog as if you're Braun Breaker. And then I want you to hit that subscribe button with the absolute hardest. I'm talking about back breaking, abdomen crushing, hernia creating spear that you can possibly deliver. But either way, man, take it easy. Your boy getting ready to sign out.